Welcome back to Faith Formation. I know we're going into Holy Week, so I have decided to do something different with our Faith Formation class this week. Instead of going into our books, we are going to go over what the Holy See is. The Holy See is a great place, and I thought that it would be cool if we learned a little bit about it. So let's get started. The Vatican, you might be hearing it by different names. It goes by the Vatican, Holy See, or Vatican City. All of them are talking about the same thing. Throughout the video, if I mention it again, it most likely will be the Holy See. Vatican is a country of its own. It is the smallest country in the world. It is within the borders of Rome, Italy. It is the only papal state. It has been under the rule of the Pope from 756 until the future. As of 2019, it was estimated that the population of the Holy See was 825 people. They use the euro for their money. So the same money that is used almost everywhere in Europe. And a fun fact is that the Vatican only has one ATM in the entire city, and it is only in one language. And that is Latin. So if you don't know Latin, you might not be able to withdraw some money from ATM, or your parents might not be able to. St. Peters Basilica, it is known by two different names. Papal Basilica of St. Peter's in the Vatican, or simply St. Peters Basilica. It was built in the Renaissance style by
Donato Bramante, Michelangelo, Carlo Maderno, and Gian Lorenzo Bernini.
It is the largest church in the world. It is considered to be the holiest Catholic shrine in the world. It is the burial site of St. Peter and other popes. As it stands now, the basilica was constructed starting on 18 April 1506 and was completed in 18 November 1626. The basilica, as you can see in the picture, is right here. This is the basilica that I was just talking about, and this is Peter's Square, St. Peter's Square, which is these two things are, when you talk about the Vatican, this is what they talk about. It is surrounded by these walls all the way around, and all this green part is the gardens that we will talk about later on in the video. The Pope stays in these buildings right here, and this is the city where the guards stay. So we'll be talking about all of those as we go on. St. Peter's Basilica is 720 feet or 220 meters in length. It is 490 feet or 150 feet in width. The highest point of the basilica is 152 feet or 136.6 meters. These are some pictures of the basilica. On the bottom right is the old St. Peter's Basilica, and then all of the other ones are of the basilica now. St. Peter's Basilica is home to 100 different tombs, 91 of those tombs being the tombs of the Pope. The picture on the inside is this one right here, is actually the gateway to the crypts of St. Peter himself. St. Peter's Square is in the center of the square is an ancient Egyptian obelisk. These used to be big, tall towers as you can see right here, that a holy man will sit on top to dedicate his entire life to God, and people will show up on the bottom and ask him to pray for them or be their intercessions. There are a lot of saints that did this as holy men. The square was designed by Gano Lavinso Bernoulli. I know I said that wrong. In 1586. The fountains down at the bottom the bottom picture is a picture of one of the fountains. Was constructed by Carlo Mandolin in 1613. And then Gina Lavinzo Bernino made another fountain in the same style as this one fountain in this picture in 1675. So both of the fountains will match the same way. So this is a very old picture on the top of the basilica, the square, with the basilica in the back. And then in the middle is looking from the basilica side out on the square. And then, of course, the bottom is one of the two fountains. The Vatican Gardens. The gardens, the name is Vatican Garden. The gardens are about half of all of the Holy See. So it takes up more than half of the Vatican itself. These gardens were first planted during the Renaissance and Baroque era in time, so a very long time ago. Sorry. It approximately covers 23 hectares or 57 acres of land. That is a lot. The highest point of the gardens is 197 feet or 60 meters. So it goes up on a slope. From on the west, south, and north sides of the gardens is surrounded by walls. These are the stone walls that we saw in the picture at the beginning of the presentation. These are some pictures of the gardens and some plants that they have in the garden. The one on the bottom is looking from the top of the basilica itself. Defense and security. Being a city itself, it does have to have a military presence. The names of these gods are Swiss gods, pontifical Swiss gods, papal Swiss gods. They were established in 1506 by Pope Julius II. They are considered the oldest military unit in constant operation in the world. All the other ones have stopped and gone and all of that. These are the only ones that have still stand the test of time. They are 515 years old. They are all unmarried Swiss Catholics, men between the age of 19 and 30. They have to complete their training, their basic training with the Swiss Army forces themselves. They consist of 135 men. They are aligned to the Pope, whoever Pope that is, whichever is the Pope, that is who they are aligned to. Their motto, I don't speak Swiss at all, so I'm not going to try that, but it stands for sincerely and faithfully. The popes. Pope is the head of the Catholic Church. Other titles for the Pope is Summus Pontifice Maximus Servus Savomo Dei. There has been 266 popes. Our Pope at the time of this video is Pope Francis. A significant number of the popes are saints. In the first 31 popes, 28 of them died for the faith, so they were martyred for the faith. Now the picture here has 91 popes on it. These are the 91 popes that are buried beneath the Basilica of St. Peter's in the Vatican. Starting with St. Peter, he's the biggest one on that list, and it just goes all the way through all the other popes that have been buried in the tombs of the Pope. So I know that this was just a rush through of what the Vatican is, but I thought it's very important to know what the Holy See is and where the Pope is, because he's the head of our church. So we need to know more about the Pope and the city that he lives in. It is also required that all bishops have to visit the Pope once every 4 years. I don't know why, but they do. And give a account, I guess, of what they have been doing. Keep in mind, since most of us are military, that our archdiocese is the archdiocese of the military, which is encompass the entire world. It's not just a city or a country like most archdioceses. Ours is hosted in Washington, D.C. And right now, as of this video, Bishop Timothy is our bishop, and he helps run and take care of all military Catholic families and soldiers in the archdiocese of the military. So even though we are under the archdiocese of the military, we are still under the Pope, because the Pope is the leader of the Catholic Church. We were given the Pope by Jesus himself. He made St. Peter his Pope, and he gave him the authority to pass it down to all of his successors, which he has done for over 2,000 years. So we are blessed to have part of them, and I hope that you've learned a little bit about the Vatican. Don't worry about any homework. There won't be any homework this week because I want you to concentrate on Holy Week itself. I will not have a Zoom meeting on Wednesday because I want you to concentrate on Holy Week. It's one of our greatest weeks of the year. It is one to think of the sacrifice that God is giving up for us in his passion. So I hope that you all have a wonderful Holy Week, and I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Remember, we don't have faith formation until after Easter, and we're almost done. So I hope and pray that you guys have a wonderful Holy Week and a great 2 weeks after that. See you soon.